Welcome back everybody to Tales of a White Mage. However, I'm playing as a scholar this time, so excuse that. But 2.5 is finally out, and this is my first run and first attempt to the World of Darkness, the third and final part of the Crystal Tower storyline. I have been hyped up for this for so long, since they announced it, actually. And it's probably the biggest thing I wanted from the newest patch. And rightfully so, this is the first thing from the new patch I tackled. As stated, this is my first attempt. There are a lot of things I did not do or did not show off because I simply did not know it. In fact, I'm fairly certain all 24 members were new, because as you can see, it was 10:15 in the morning. The patch only went live at 9 o'clock. So anyway, we get to the first bunch of mobs, and they're just these things. I don't quite know what they're called because I can't read that text. They're nothing major. You see the giant AoEs. They give you plenty of time to move out of the way. Even if you are hit by that, as you just saw then, I was hit by it briefly. It only puts a burn debuff, so it's not that big a deal. As I said, they do give you plenty of time to move out of the way of that. However, that guy decides to just run straight through it. Alright, with that lot of mobs done, a new two-headed dragon just spawned. I don't really know what this thing does. We just sort of DPS'd it down, so I'm not 100% sure. As you saw there, more mobs spawned. Again, I was being extraordinarily careful in this raid. Normally I would DPS and other stuff while healing. I was playing a bit too careful because I was new to it. I didn't know what to expect. So I declared that all I was going to do was heal. And that's about it. I didn't really do much else. Alright, but that's that little mob pull done. It was straightforward, just kill the enemies and move on. But here we're coming up to the first boss, and what I consider probably the most complicated out of them. This guy. Let me tell you about this guy. He causes so many problems. There is so much going on in this fight. I will try my best to explain, but I don't think I'm going to do quite an adequate job to really explain what's going on. See, first we have these little poles of light, which I don't know what the hell they're for. Maybe we need to stand in them? I didn't know. I was pretty much running to them. But here we have this. The first problem that really got me throughout this entire fight. The entire arena, you can't avoid that. The entire arena is split in half. Red behind him and white in front of him. What you want to do, ideally, is get hit by one of them, and it gives you a debuff. The debuff itself does nothing. I just avoided something there, which I'll explain in a moment. But anyway, the debuff in on itself does nothing. However, if you get 2 of that same debuff, you will take heavy damage. And then if you get 3 of that one debuff, you just downright die. It insta-kills you, there's no two ways about it. You die. So ideally what you want to do is alternate between the 2 debuffs. Change from the red to the white to the red again. And that's how you handle that problem. And that's not too big a deal once you know that. But when you don't know that, that killed me a couple of times, and it killed a lot of people a lot of times. But anyway, we saw before the Doom. The boss will use a move called Mortal Gaze, as you just saw now. And if you are looking at the boss, you will get the Doom status. To remove it, go into one of the glowing circles, it's that easy. But if you are looking away from him, you will not get doomed and you will genuinely have a good day. However, you see that giant light going around the room? That will stop eventually and will kill anyone that is in it. Oh, we will see, don't you worry, plenty of people die to this. But what I did not know was over there on the side we have the hourglasses. Yeah, and you're stunned when you're in there as well, so good luck. Yep, I just saw a ton of people die. That was fun. But anyway, the hourglasses, there are 4 in total. When the 4th one dies, it will stop and it will kill you. Basically, so what you want to do is kill all 4 hourglasses, and when the 4th one dies, no one be near that light. It's that simple. But learning that was not so simple. And there we have our first wipe. It's all about maintaining the different debuff as well as the as the Doom, and knowing where the light is. If you can get by that, you're gonna have a good time. As you can see there, what I was trying to do was sort of stay near the edge and just avoid the light, because I still didn't know that the hourglasses even existed at this point. Ah, good, seems everyone avoided it that time, which is good. And even that point, I didn't know what that did, so I still sort of ate the debuffs, I guess. I don't really know the right term for that. See there how I already had the red debuff and I took a bunch of damage. You don't want that. See, now what I want to do is move over to the white. I don't know if I've done that. I managed to avoid that, barely. Yeah, right there. I did not move over to the white area. If I had moved over to the white, I would have remained alive, but I did not. At this point, we've sussed out a lot of the mechanics, and we're just sort of discussing amongst ourselves about said mechanics and how to avoid them and what not to do. The marks, I don't think we paid too much attention to them because you have to move around a lot, so... there we go. See how I've sort of learnt that I needed to move? After I get the white, I need the red. So, there's that. And I didn't do this on my first run of this, but it really helps to focus target the boss. So you know when he is preparing to use either the move that puts Doom on you, I don't remember the name of it, or the Death level 150. What that move does, we didn't really see it into effect, but what that move does is it targets one person at random, I think only one, and puts a circular AoE around them, as you just saw a moment ago over at the back. And if the amount of people in that circle, this is only what I've heard, I don't know exactly. If the amount of people in that circle is a multiple of 3, I think it kills them all, but I can't be too sure. Shouldn't take my word on it, trust me. Yeah, I did not notice Doom. I was too focused on alternating the debuff that I completely ignored Doom, basically, and just did not see it at all. So, that's wipe number 3. So far it bodes well for the run, for the entire raid rather, that the first boss has given us this much trouble. But again, it makes sense because it's new, we don't know the strategies, we don't know how to easily handle it. It's a little bit like how Circus Tower was. The first time I had done Circus Tower, it was hard. It was genuinely really hard. But now, it's not hard at all. It's really, really easy. Crystal Tower can still be a pain if nobody knows how to, or Labyrinth of the Ancients I should say, can still be a pain if nobody knows how to handle the Bone Dragon. The amount of parties I've seen wipe so many times at the Bone Dragon and then just give up is ridiculous. And in all honesty, I can see this fight doing the same thing, where in a month, 2 months down the line, when people have actually run this and know what they're doing, and it becomes a lot easier, there will be a time when you'll go into it and a few people won't know what they're doing, they won't know how to alternate the debuffs or anything like that, or get rid of Doom, which is one of the easiest mechanics of the fight. And if they're important members like healers or the tank, they will wipe the party, the raid rather. And if that happens, I can see it becoming a problem where the other members will not want to do it. Because I have to admit, anytime I go into Labyrinth of the Ancients and they cannot handle Bone Dragon, I leave. If we wipe 3-4 times on the first boss, I leave. Because I know if they cannot handle the Bone Dragon, they will not handle the meteors. And if they can't handle the meteors, then there's just no point even trying. And I can see this raid doing the same thing, where if people cannot handle the swap mechanic of the debuff, they will not be able to handle the later on mechanics, which we will get to shortly, so don't you worry. See, this try we done a lot better. Not many people died. We were handling our debuffs perfectly fine. But as you can expect with anything new, it's learning the fights. That's half the fun. It's learning the fights. Anyway, with that done, the loot that drops in this place is I am level 120 gear, which is amazing. See, I'm not in here for white mage gear. I'm actually in here for monk gear, because I've got full 120 white mage gear now. So I don't need any of the white mage gear. But since there's a loot lockout system, which means you can only get one piece of loot a week, per week, that sucks. To be honest, that really sucks. See, just then a piece of 120 monk gear did drop, but I decided to pass, because ideally you want either the body piece or the legs piece, because those two are the best pieces of gear out of the entire set. I have no idea what that was. So that's the gear that I decided that I want. So I passed on the gloves. Anyway, here we have the Queen Sky. I can never pronounce that. Skylia or Skylia? I don't know. I can't read it right now to try. So, as we know, this is the boss from Circus Tower, the first boss of Circus Tower. But it's a smaller version, not so hard either, because it's just a mob pool. This is not a boss. There's no real strategy either, it's just DPS it down, and that's about it. Ads will spawn, kill them, done. See, this thing here spawned on top of me, so it kind of startled me a little bit. But all that is if you don't kill that in time, an ad will spawn out of it. So there's that. Ideally, what I think you want to do is have one party on the boss and the other two parties on each side of the boss taking care of the ads. We did not do that because we're dumb. But I'm fairly certain that's how I will probably handle it in the future, and I hope that's how other people handle it as well, because that seems to me like it could very well work. The boss is down, and so are the ads in a moment. The little saws, and a treasure chest appears. Open said treasure chest, and it's a trap. Yep, it's a trap. Another boss appears, who is the something clone, I think it is. It's the final boss from Circus Tower, if I remember right. I can't read the name, so anyway, just like before, ads spawn, and it's nothing really to worry about. It's just kill things. That's about it. There's no mechanics to this fight. There's no AoE we need to avoid or anything like that. It's just beat everything down and move on. And here we have the second boss, the five-headed dragon. Not quite the five-headed dragon we know from Yu-Gi-Oh, but hey. This guy, let me tell you, this guy is a pain. He taught us a lesson, and he taught it good. That's me looking at the map, and because I was surprised that we haven't gone through any doors or anything like that. It's all on one map, which is very impressive, I have to admit. All the ads, all the bosses, they're all on one map. Because Circus Tower had them in different maps completely. So far, it seems quite straightforward. He does a huge conal AoE in front of him. Don't stand in it, obviously. Now this guy, I still don't know what to do with this guy, because all I know about this guy is that he hurts you. That's about it. And then there's this. I remember my reaction at the time was, holy shit, this stuff gets bigger. And that was it. That was my exact reaction, because I was not expecting that ice AoE to get bigger. And it does. So you want to avoid that. I don't think it actually hurt me at all, but it froze me in place, and that's not a good thing. Ever. Now over there you see those slimes, kill them, because they will hurt, I think. I think they put poison debuffs and other stuff as well as just genuinely hurt you. But so far the fight isn't so bad. It's just avoid the AoEs, don't stand in front of the boss anywhere in front of the boss, and have a good time. Then this happens. And I have no idea what the hell's going on. No one has no idea what the hell's going on. We don't know what to do. So I'm standing here thinking, we're going to wipe. We are going to wipe, and I don't know what to do. So, needless to say, we all died. And, I'm sorry, we thought it was going to be a positional thing where maybe if we stand inside the circle we won't die. But, no. That wasn't it either. We died. See, what we didn't see, or what I didn't see at least, were when he starts charging that, you can attack the individual heads. I didn't notice that. Why would I notice that? But basically, to stop that, what you want to do is attack each individual head and kill them. They go down fairly simple. So, there's that. See, I didn't see that at all I didn't know what people were talking about when they were mentioning it in chat. So needless to say, when it happens again, I didn't know what to do. So I just sort of didn't do anything. Plus, something else happened, which we'll get to. I thought maybe, just maybe, it had to do with that ad over there. So I grabbed that ad off that guy. I went to run it into the circle, but that didn't do anything. The ad just killed me. But as you can see, the DPS are killing the individual heads, I think. Yeah. I didn't see that. I didn't know what was going on, why it was stopping. But that's when I noticed the individual heads. And why chat started to make sense. But anyway, you kill the individual heads and the damage he deals to you is substantially lower. So beyond that, this fight isn't that bad. To be honest, it's kind of easy. It was literally just learning that area-wide AoE, or raid-wide AoE, I should say, because it's just the entire raid. Still, even to this point, I am playing it safe. I'm not doing much any DPS, I should say, because I didn't want to take a chance of swapping to my DPS and something happening, and then I need to quickly swap back to healing, and I don't like doing that when I am being careful. But I'm still not that used to Scholar despite using it often. As you can see, I don't have EOS out. I didn't have my summon. I didn't notice I didn't even have my summon. If I had my summon out, maybe I could have done some DPS, you know? Because my summon can actually heal for quite a good amount. And right there, benediction. That healer saved my life. And because I was about to die, there was no way I could have stopped that. That I know of anyway. But that healer saw that I was about to die and saved my life. Gotta thank him for that. And right there, I was making the stupid mistake of actually attacking, because what the boss did, well, not attacking but healing, what the boss did was he put a debuff on everyone, and I didn't know what that debuff done. All I saw was I was taking a ton of damage, and so was everyone else. When you have that debuff, you want to stop what you're doing. Don't move, don't cast, don't attack, do nothing. Because while you are casting, moving or attacking or anything, you start taking damage. So that's why it looked like that debuff was literally just burning everyone, because everyone didn't stop. No one knew to stop, so there was that. So now that I know that, I have run this since, and now that I know that, I know to stop DPS or healing, DPS, and doing whatever I'm doing so that it goes smoother. Because if you're not careful, that can just burn you. It can just wipe easily. Anyway, Our boss is down, we get some more soldiery, and this place is actually worth a decent amount of soldiery. I think you get 100 soldiery from doing this. And we get a belt of healing, which I was tempted, but I decided not to, so moving on. See, so far, at least to my knowledge, there's no exact list and detailed list of the gear that drops in here. Once I know what the stats are like on that gear and compare it to my own gear, there might be stuff that's better than what I have for my white mage. So we don't really know, and hey. Anyway, at this point I see 3 paths. Pretty raid knowledge to go. We are C, so we go to the right. But I see the platforms here, and I'm a little confused at first. Didn't quite know what to do. We actually got a bit lucky in this, and we didn't quite mess up as easily as you can. As with Crystal Tower, we have our own Atomos to kill, so it makes sense for each party to go to each area individually and kill that Atomos. I do believe it's the same idea where if one party fails, the entire raid fails. That hasn't happened to me yet, so I'm glad. But what I think can happen is you all get locked down on that lower ring, which I'll explain how that happens very shortly. Once we start getting in this, I can start explaining what the hell we're doing. There we go. See, the Atomos itself goes down really quickly. The first phase of this, really simple. See there how I'm targeted? I think I was. No, I wasn't targeted, someone else was. Sorry. But I still got swallowed. Yeah, I still got devoured, which I don't think it puts a buff on the boss or not, but it knocks you down here. And if your platform is not lit up like that, you can't get back up. And you see that light up on the top level? If you step on that, that activates the lower ring platforms for somewhere else. Not yours, somewhere else. So if you're knocked down and your second ring platform is not on, that means another party needs to stand on the glowing circle on the top platform. So I'm certain if all 3 parties fall down and no one is able to get back up, I think that could be a party wipe, but I don't know yet. Anyway, there was an ad, but we kind of killed that. The enemies here die really quickly, the bosses die quickly, the ad dies quickly. I think we got lucky with the platforms, that's about it. But beyond that, I think this isn't that hard. Again, we couldn't get back up because someone else didn't step on that top glowy thing. So there's that. Ah, there we go. Another bloody thing has spawned. I don't really know how to avoid getting devoured, so maybe if you just move quick enough you can avoid it, but I didn't. I was dumb. However, I kept stepping on that because I thought maybe it would do something, but it didn't seem to do anything to my knowledge. I didn't notice the whole platform thing until the second run of this. There we go. Now that all of them are down, all things activate once it's done. And step on that one, and then wind up back to carry on. On to the third boss. The boss I'm actually disappointed with in this run because I didn't show off anything that is involved in this boss fight. There is so much more to this boss fight than what I'm showing off in this video. I will explain though, best I can. I don't know a whole lot about this fight. I only know that it hits really hard and will kill you if you're not careful. As I do believe that we wiped twice in this run, and twice ain't too bad. It's not too bad. Again, I didn't learn a thing in my first run of this, pretty much. I didn't learn anything. My second run, I learned a tremendous amount, but I didn't learn anything in my first run, so there's that. Anyway, here we have Cerberus. He is chained up, so he's not much of a threat right now. Avoid the AoE, that's nothing to worry about. And there he's broken three. Free, rather, not three. Free. Yes, he's broken free. And what I didn't know what you have to do is you see that juice, you want to be in that AoE. Or, to be precise, two parties want to go in that AoE. And the third party will tank the boss. But the two parties that go in that AoE get minied. And when you get minied, you go into the purple goop, where the boss will then eat you. And if you get eaten while you are minied, you will actually be transported inside the boss, like some people have, so that you can then fight enemies inside the boss to help the entire fight. If you go into that purple goop while you are not minied, you will die. He will just eat you. Downright eat you. You will die. But anyway, the parties, hopefully two parties go in there, preferably A and B, while C tanks the boss. The parties that go inside Cerberus need to kill some things, and when they kill them, they will make Cerberus calm down, so he stops killing everyone. And while calm, you can then chain Cerberus back up. However, we didn't get to do this until he was about 50%, if I remember right. And in all honesty, aside from that, there's nothing else to this fight. It's just DPS him down, go mini, go inside, kill, get out, chain, kill, and DPS and that, and it's quite simple. The reason we had trouble was because we didn't know what we had to do at all. See there how the boss has stopped moving? That's when you want to chain the boss. That means that the parties that went inside managed to kill the goop, or whatever it is that's inside him. I don't really remember. I've only been in there once. I do really like it when you go in there though, because the battle music is muffled and you basically fight his poop, and that's about it. But as you saw there, one of the chains failed and he breaks free. Because one of the chains did not connect. And thus, Fate Wipe 1 is imminent, basically. Because when he's not chained, he puts he puts debuffs on you, like blunt resistance down, slash resistance down, and when you have those, he can just one-shot anything. So, take two, and I don't think it goes much better in this run. Okay, scratch that. I mistakenly thought we wiped twice when actually we only wiped once, apparently. I didn't realise. I thought I had wiped more than once in this fight, so apparently not. We handled the chaining phase much better. We rechained him and it puts his armor back on, but he does break free again. But I think the other party members have sussed out the whole mini thing. So I did not. Needless to say. It can be hard to notice these mechanics when you're the healer, like focusing on healing as well. It can be hard to notice certain things. You saw there our summoner ran into the goop without being minied, so he got munched. And that's what happens when you're not minied and going into the goop. You get eaten. And that looked like it really hurt. Not gonna lie. The way he just charges into you is crazy. I'm running around because I am currently inflicted with a debuff that just... I think it's called Hysteria, I'm not too sure. Yeah, Hysteria. And it literally just makes you run around. You can't do nothing, you can't control yourself at all. Anyway, Cerberus is dead. It's hard if you don't know what you're doing again, same as most things in this. But after we sussed out certain mechanics, it became a ton easier. And now we're coming up to the final boss and a possible nightmare, in my opinion. Yep. This is the Cloud of Darkness herself. This boss is a challenge. There is a lot to look out for, and it gave us a run for our money. However, a lot of the mechanics we see in this fight are mechanics we've seen before in other fights. So once we've sussed them out, it's not as bad as you may think. Once the party's ready and have sort of gotten over the awe of this boss, we move on. See, that's me contemplating, can we fall off this? Because at first I thought maybe the boss could knock us off and it will do something while we're down there, like in the other bosses with the Atmos. But you don't need to worry about that, don't you worry. See, just then, we just saw someone get decimated by a laser. That's the first mechanic you need to look out for in this fight. If you get targeted by the boss, move. Don't stop moving, keep running. Otherwise that laser will chase you. And it will chase you till you die. And then there's that. The boss teleports around the room and then causes a giant laser down the center. Needless to say, me and a few other people did get hit by that. So your safest bet is to stay around the edge of the room. And right over there we saw someone else get decimated by sky lasers again. I don't think I get targeted by that, so I can't really show you how to avoid it. But all I can say is if you're targeted by the boss, move. Keep running, don't stop running. And don't run into other people either, because that will hurt them as well. Not as much as it will hurt you, but it will hurt them. Now with that, I don't think they were all filled up, because that is a lot like the Zande, I think it is. The Zande fight, where you have to fill up the circles. That will happen over a course of time in this fight. And will keep happening, and then yeah, she prepares for that giant laser and I get hit by it somehow because I'm slow. Anyway, those circles will appear around the arena, and it's your duty to have at least one person in all of them, just like in the Zande fight. If you can handle that, then you should be fine for the time being. However, there's this phase as well. In this step, enemies will spawn and move over towards the cloud of darkness. If any enemies get, or for each enemy that reaches the cloud of darkness, you will take arena-wide AoE damage. Now these guys, I didn't see that circle, so that's my fault. I was paying attention to the big cloud things. But these dark clouds, or whatever they're called, the small ones are dark clouds, the large ones are dark storms. The dark storms are much harder to kill, they have a lot more health, but they can be slowed. If you can slow them or stop them or stun them, whatever, you can do it, because if one of them gets inside the cloud of darkness, you are going to take huge damage from this attack. It will still hurt you regardless, but the less clouds that reach her, the less damage you will take. It's just that simple. And then there's this weird step. You see those worms? Just smack them once and they go away. That's about it. I don't even know why they have HP, because you can't kill them. You see how that person was running? Still caught up to him, but he lasted longer than others did. Yeah, that's because he didn't run soon enough. Not fast enough, soon enough. Basically, you need to run as soon as you see the target on you, otherwise you're going to die. And then there's this, which I didn't know what to do at first. Luckily, people ran in there, because when you are locked out, you are locked out. You cannot interfere with them. You want to kill at least 2 of them, because for each one that survives, you will take arena-wide damage. You can survive one of them. It will hurt, but you will survive it. 2 of them will probably be a bit much to handle. Now, in all fairness, I was being overly cautious in this fight. In my second run of this, I didn't do that much healing. I didn't really need to. I DPS'd quite a lot, And I went into it as my white mage, so yeah, I'm not surprised that that pretty much decimated everyone. And I get desperate, so I use a limit break. Probably shouldn't have bothered, but I did. I shouldn't have bothered because it wouldn't matter anyway. Because too many clouds got inside the cloud of darkness, so at this point I've pretty much accepted my fate, and I decided to just wipe it. Just let the raid wipe. Yeah, see how me and Tank have both just stopped because we're the only ones here. Anyway, our second run went a lot smoother, so there's that at least. But anyway, we basically just saw every mechanic that this fight has. And now that we've seen all the mechanics of the fight, we know what to do. We have our shit together. We went in this with the intention of completing it, and we were successful. We were lucky. So I'm just going to let you enjoy it from now on. Alright, and with that, the World of Darkness, I was about to say Circus Tower, the World of Darkness is done. That was intense, to be honest. It was very challenging, very difficult, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And thank you for watching. If you managed to stick through, that is. I hope you have, because that is an amazing raid. I'm definitely going to be running that quite a bit. At least once a week. No, at least once a week. If I get my loot in that one run. If not, then it will take as many runs as it takes for me to get my loot. Until next time, everyone, when I tackle more of the 2.5 content, have a wonderful day. Bye bye now.